Become the king of your own domain in Kingdomino. Let's go. Welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, click the button, subscribe, and every single Thursday we'll give you a brand new video about a board game. And the best part is we'll give you a simple rating and tell you if you should buy it, play it, or hate it. Green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you'd play somebody else's copy. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it. I'm going to give you a simple one-die rating on Kingdomino, and then I'll spend the rest of this video telling you why I gave it that rating. Today, Kingdomino gets a green. It gets a green rating. Now, let me tell you why I think you need to buy this game. Now, right up front, I need to tell you that I heard a lot of people talking about this on Facebook in different groups, and the hype train was rolling. So I went ahead and bought this game, got it shipped in, and picked it up and played it. And the first time that I played this game, I was not impressed. In fact, I thought that's so lame, and these people got me hyped up about something that wasn't that good. But I just gave it a buy it rating, and here's why. After playing this game a number of times, the first time I played it seemed a little too simple. I put it away. I decided to try it again. I pulled it back out, and the simplicity and the smoothness of this game is what got me sold on Kingdomino. Now, let me tell you how to play, and then you can figure out if this is something that will fit you and your gaming group. The first thing that you need to know is this game plays up to 4 people, but I actually don't recommend playing it that way. You can, and that's fun, but I say get 2 people together and play this game because it is perfect with 2 people. But before we get there, I'll bring back all the other people so that I can show you how it plays with everybody. Now, normally in a 4-player game, each person is just going to get 1 meeple that I guess represents a king or a queen or something, and they're going to get a starting tile. You put your little 3D cardboard cutout on there, and this is like a wild. Anything can connect to this on any of the 4 sides, so it doesn't matter what you put up next to this. That's all that you do. And so to start out the game, everybody gets their little kingdoms and their little castles. And what you're going to do is you're going to mix up all of these dominoes. Now, these dominoes are just really simple. It's just 2-sided terrains. And sometimes the terrain is the same, like this one, or sometimes it's different. And then sometimes they don't have anything on them other than the terrain. And then other times they have crowns on them. And the crowns are what score you points in the game, but we'll get to that in a minute. So we're back to how to play the game. So the first thing that you do is you shuffle up the tiles, and then you put out 4 tiles, and you arrange them in numerical order. So 2, 4, 13, 40. You do it just like that, and then you flip them over. And then at the beginning of the game, let's say we're playing a 4-player game, we would shuffle these up and we would just lay them out randomly. Okay, and these are the tiles that somebody's going to get on that turn. And then what you do is you draw 4 more random tiles. You do the same thing. You put them out in numerical order. And so what's going to happen now is the first player, who's right here at the top, gets to take this tile, and then they would place it somewhere on their kingdom. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter at first where you put it because this initial one is wild. But then that player now gets to choose out of these 4 tiles that are left which one that they want for the next round. And so let's say that this guy liked this one because it had a crown on it and a field, which could match his. So he places his guy there. The next guy takes his. He wants to go first next round. This person takes this one because it has 2 crowns. And the last person is left taking that one. So we'll take our turns drawing these tiles. And now the new turn order is set up. You draw 4 more tiles. You put them out in numerical order. People choose, and then they go. And so the placement rules then, moving on to the next round, is going to be that you have to match a terrain type, so field on field there, or if I wanted to, I could go against my centerpiece, which is wild. And then the other rule, those are really the only rules. You can't ever overlap tiles, silly things like that, but they just have to match. And then the last rule is that your grid, if you're playing a normal 2-player game or a normal 3-4-player game, it can only be 5 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's as wide as my terrain tile could be. And then 5 tall. And so you'll take turns placing your tiles out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it like that. 5. And so then those are really the only rules. It's got to match one of the pieces, and it has to fit within a 5 by 5 grid. You will take turns doing that turn order thing where you pick one, then they pick one, until all of the tiles are gone for your player count. Once all the tiles are gone, then you come back and you start adding up your points. Now, sometimes things could happen in the game where maybe, let's say that, I'm just making this up as I go, but let's just say that it ended like this somehow, some way. Sometimes you might have empty spaces, and that's okay. That's just how it ends up, because you can't ever exceed your 5 by 5 grid. Then what you're going to do is simply come back and multiply. You're going to multiply the number of crowns that you got times the number of squares that are connected that are of that same terrain type. So on this field here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only have one crown. That's 7 points. On these blue tiles right here, I didn't get any crowns. So that means I don't get any points for that. This is terrible. But this one right here, okay, maybe that's wheat and this is a field. Forgive me. But on this open field here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles times 3 crowns. So that's 12 points. And so you go back and forth just adding up your points, doing the simple multiplication. Whoever has the most points wins the game. Now, it's really simple, right? And for a lot of you, you might be like me the first time I played this game, where I thought that's almost too simple and I don't want to play this game, put it away. But this game really reminds me almost of like Splendor, where the simplicity, it's so simple. And once somebody gets it, they want to play a lot of this game. Now, replayability is not going to be huge because, replayability is not going to be randomized, right? Because it's the same thing. You're doing the same thing, same tiles, same grid, same everything. But the reason that it's fun is because of the streamlined smoothness of it. You just get excited every time you lay out a tile and you say, ooh, I want that double mountain tile because that will go really good with my one. Or, ooh, I don't have a good choice here, but so I'm going to go first. And then the next round, when they're laying out more tiles, you're like, oh, come on, give me what I want, give me what I want. And they're like, yes, I got what I want. And then you add that. And then as you're playing, then you're trying to figure out, well, what's the best way for me to place these so that I don't block myself off, or so that I can keep this open. And, oh, I hope I get one more of this, because that would mean that's 3 to 4 times now, 4 times 6. I'm going to get 24 points. And you start doing all this math in your head. And the best part about this game to me, is forget the 4-player. Just play it 2 people and do the 7 by 7 variant. Because then you get to use all of these tiles, right? And now you're not building a 5 by 5 thing, but you get to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now look at how big my kingdom could become. Now it's huge. And you get to do so many things. And now a forest could go all the way through your kingdom, and you could get all these points, and you might be scoring like 50, 60 points off of one terrain type. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty simple. And I could teach this to a lot of people in just a couple minutes. And I think that this is well worth whatever the cost is of this game. I think that this is good to have in your collection. I've heard that you could actually buy 2 copies of this and play 4 people 7 by 7. That's amazing. And that would be a whole lot of fun. And there's no telling, when you double the amount of tiles that are in here, how big of a kingdom you could get now if you have twice as many tiles. It's just cool. This is a good game. This is a solid game. This is a game that I said on my podcast the other day, I said it is so simple and so streamlined that I'm almost shocked that nobody has come up with this game before. Like, this is such a simple design. Dominoes, terrain types, multiply it by the crowns. Like, that's so simple. Why did somebody not think of that? And that, to me, is a sign of a great game. It's a game that is very approachable to most people. Deep gamers are not going to like this. They're going to think it's too simple. It's not much. But for a guy like me that has a lot of friends that are new gamers, a lot of family, a lot of times where I want to go play with a family and we're not going to want to play some deep, crazy, take up the whole table with all these pieces and these complicated rules. This is a game that I would play probably 5-6 times in a row. And we would just play and play and play and play and play and then put it away and still look back and say that was awesome. That's Kingdomino. That's why this one gets a green die, and I think that you should go and buy this, maybe even buy it twice.